Welcome to the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. You are now part of a small underground movement of dent technicians from all over the world. We are on a mission to change our industry with innovation, intelligence, and skill. But because we don't rely on an insurance company to steer customers our way, we need to do things different. We need to do things smarter. We do that through a network of technicians that we call the Tactical Tech Movement. Now let's get this revolution started.
Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. And this is going to be a quick one. This week we have been swamped. We're trying to get everything ready for, I've got a Memorial's Day sale that I'm going to be running. On top of that, more importantly, I'm going to be taking off Monday and Tuesday, which will be my first long weekend for quite a while. So because of that, we had to get a ton of clients in. I've got a hail car that we're finishing up right now, which basically should have been delivered yesterday, but it's going to be delivered sometime today. And just a bunch of work that's coming in. I'm probably actually going to be working a little bit on Saturday, so you guys can kind of get a picture of exactly what my life looks like currently. And on top of that, we're just trying to get a bunch of other shit done. So I'm going to do a quick podcast here that's going to be very valuable, though. So I figured if I got to do a quick one, I'm going to make sure it's valuable. And I'm going to talk a lot about something that's quite a bit of an interest here and something that's really been working well for not only a lot of my clients, but just a lot of the people who put some of our strategies to use. And what actually got me thinking about this, I'm actually uploading Instagram Secrets right now, which is a course that I came out with at our last Mega Media event. And I'm actually uploading it to Dent Trainer, the entire course. I think it's about a 10-video course, but I get straight to the fucking point. I mean, that's my thing. I don't drag the videos out and make them stupid where, you know, I just hate that shit where somebody like talks the whole time and you get one valuable nugget. I actually do a screen share on there and show everything from how to advertise on Instagram, you know, through the Facebook Ads Manager, how to target an audience, how to retarget them, how to set up your Instagram profile, how to, you know, so that way it looks appealing so people follow you, how to put robots into work. And yes, I did say robots into work, and that's just a whole topic of its own. So I'm not going to kid myself like I can teach you every aspect of this, but I can kind of break it down. So I want to talk a little bit about Instagram here, and I also want to kind of finish up with because I'm always funnel building, and if you guys don't know what funnels are, I'm going to talk a little bit about that at the end of the podcast, because I truly believe in the day and age where target marketing is becoming much more important, knowing exactly what a funnel is and how to deliver a great user experience to your client base is going to be much more important. So you guys, I'm packing this podcast with tons and tons of great stuff right now, and I'm going to be dropping some knowledge that if you put to play and you put to work, you are definitely going to be able to take your retail end of your business to that next level. So that being said, Instagram is massive now. People are just tired of the Facebook shit. And kind of what I mean by that is the Facebook shit is just a bunch of drama on Facebook. You know, you post something, you got 10 different people just with their own opinions. Everybody can't stay out of each other's business on Facebook, it seems like. And Instagram seems to be a definitely much more pleasant user experience for a lot of folks. Instagram doesn't stress people out when they get on there. I've heard that Facebook stresses people out, but my thing is I just don't look at other people's stuff usually unless it's like the first 3 things in my feed. And then after that, I'm usually posting something or I'm trying to interact inside of the Tactical Dent Tech group. I spend a lot of time trying to build and maintain a really good community, which has been a very, very good community of a lot of great people that help people rather than just push them down. So we got a lot of good stuff going on there. That being said, talking about Instagram, people are just migrating towards that. And I mean, everything from your grandmama to, you know, young kids, it seems like a really mixed barrel on there. When young kids are actually trying to get away from Facebook, they're still maintaining a presence on Instagram. And gosh, I'm getting old, man. I'm calling people that are like 25 and 30 years old young kids. But I mean, that's our future market, so we got to understand exactly where the trends are going. You know, these are folks that are probably buying their first new car. I mean, there's a potential market there is exactly what I'm saying. But the key with Instagram is it's much easier to target and find your ideal clients and your ideal audience. It's literally easier to get followers based on likes and interest on Instagram because everything on there is very, very hashtag friendly. It's very location friendly. And it's kind of like an open view of exactly, I'll give you guys one example. So we got a supermarket here locally called Dorothy Lane Supermarket. And Dorothy Lane Supermarket would be what I feel is an iconic business in our area. In fact, they pretty much say that Dorothy Lane has built a following that everybody's tried to come in here and take a piece of that, and it just doesn't work. Our local area, they're used to something that's above and beyond. I mean, when you go in there, literally, me and my wife talk about this. You go into Dorothy Lane, everything is good. I mean, like, everything is good. You go into some place like Whole Foods, it's hit or miss. You get something out of. In fact, my wife can't even eat at Whole Foods anymore because she got some stupid looking bean salad or something like that. And basically, when she took a bite of it, it was so gross. She said that that's all she can think about when we talk about Whole Foods, or they even think about like eating at their big ass buffet they got there. So that being said, Dorothy Lane is. It's a local, iconic place. He has 3 locations. He has over 500 employees. And when Norman and Calvin, so Calvin's the CEO and Norman's the father, when they go in and they set up their business at a location, they actually buy the entire, build and buy the entire strip mall. So you'll see a giant Dorothy Lanes, and they've got the biggest one is down in a little town called Springboro. The giant Dorothy Lane sitting right there in this huge complex, and he not only owns this giant store that's like the size of a Kroger's, but he also owns every building that he built that's attached to that, including the front parking lot, the rear parking lot, and builds them out and rents them to people and has his grocery store sitting there. So, I mean, that's a fucking boss right there. Number one. The second thing, he's also got Entrepreneur of the Year award. I mean, that's nationwide. The guy has a nationwide distribution center for their what they call their killer brownies. It's a very high-end store. Like, you're talking about walking out of there with a shopping cart, and it seems like every time, I always tell the wife, every time we go shopping there, one shopping cart's going to be $500. So if you guys could imagine, I don't like to go there all the time because I know it's like, who wants to drop $500 every time they go to the grocery? But I go there enough to get the stuff we want and the stuff we like specifically from there. So now that being said, let's take this all the way back to Instagram. Okay, so they've done a fabulous job at attracting a really great clientele base. Okay, so we're talking about, again, the people that walk through that grocery store that have a cart they're gonna go to the checkout and cost them $500. Them people have extra money to spend on novelty things. I hate to say it, but a ding removal on a car is not a necessity. Usually, whenever we're doing a dent removal, it's not a necessity. It doesn't stop the car from running. So we're not trying to attract people that are on the edge of their income. Sometimes we end up fixing cars for people that are on the edge of their income, but ideally, you'd much rather have somebody that just wouldn't even bat an eye at $200 or $300, or $500 or $750, or somebody who would rather pay $1,000 than pay their $500 deductible. That's me. Okay, like I would pay $1,000 before I paid my $500 deductible and got insurance involved. It just doesn't make sense. There's a threshold of where I'll spend my money versus actually calling the damn insurance company. Now, Dorothy Lane, again, going back to Instagram, Dorothy Lane has what's called an open profile. And a lot of folks on there, a lot of businesses, when you search, have a profile where you can actually see not only who they are following, but more importantly, who's following them, okay? So Instagram has it set up to where you can literally go in there and you can set robots into play where they will follow and unfollow, okay? I know that there's a Chrome extension that will do that for you, and I go in detail inside of but the Chrome extension I think is called Growbot. And we also there's something on your phone, is on the iPhone, that's called, I think it's Captivate. I don't want to butcher this, but for iPhone, it's called Captivate. I haven't found anything for Droid, but there's a way that you can actually go in and follow and unfollow people And as long as you have your profile, I go over all this in the video. I'm going to try to make this short, but I go over all of this in my video series. For all you Dent Trainer members, you guys are going to be able to log in on Sunday night. I'll have it up and rolling. But I go over this on the video. If you have your literally your Instagram page optimized, so when people see that you followed them, you're going to be able to intrigue them to follow you back, is one of the keys to making this work. Because you might follow, let's see, I like to set mine up in the middle of the night and then run my Google Chrome extension during the day. But you might follow, for instance, let's just say 300 people a night, and if you've got your page or your landing page or your profile optimized, you could potentially get 100 of them to follow you back. Now that's high. That's 1/3, okay? I would expect 50 of them to follow you back. But if you could imagine how that would accumulate over time, imagine if every night you woke up and had 50 new followers. And you did that, rinsed and repeated that over and over again. But here's the key as well, because you don't want your profile to look bloated with people that you follow. You got to take part of the week and unfollow people who don't follow you back. And that does two things. That puts them back in the pool where maybe they didn't see your notification. Maybe you didn't hit them at the right time. Maybe they're not an active user on Instagram. So there is a way that you can literally unfollow everybody who doesn't follow you back. It takes a little bit of time, it takes patience, and it takes discipline. I usually like to set a phone reminder to remind me before I go to bed to do this type of stuff, because I like to run it. Captivate has sleep mode, where it will power down your phone. You'll plug it into the wall, and you'll kind of see these little almost like a screensaver come over your screen while it's actually working for you while you're sleeping. And you'd be surprised how many people that you get followed back by, that if you're active on Instagram and you're building a brand story like what we talked about last week, that begin engaging and definitely begin watching your stories. And they begin to, grow to like and trust you based on exactly how you present your brand story. And I'm telling you, it's a quick and easy way to literally take over a community little by little. And another thing that you can do as well is you can go after hashtags, and you can go after geographical location, which if you look on Instagram and you go to the search menu, you can kind of see at the top where you can scroll to either hashtags that you're searching, or you can also scroll over to location. And when you scroll over to location, you can see your local city, your big major city. You can see, I'll give you guys an example. I live in Centerville, which I do believe it's likely one of the nicest communities that surround Dayton. We've got Centerville, Beaver Creek, and Springboro that are three very, very nice communities kind of right over here on the east side, north or south side of Dayton. And there's a lot of money in these areas. There's Oakwood as well that's close to Dayton. But I can literally have my robot go after hashtags of people that have tagged themselves in these locations. So right there's another strategy. But again, I like the idea of the Dorothy Lane market strategy of where I'm following and unfollowing their users, because they've already kind of pegged their ideal clients and their ideal market. So I'm leveraging off of who I feel would be following their store. So I guess what I'm telling you guys, if you look around your community and you find businesses that you feel that are at least and decent in size, and they've got a decent amount of followers. I mean, you can do it with somebody who has 100 followers. There's some fancy-ass restaurant or something like that only got 100 followers. I don't know why they would only have 100 followers, but you can follow their 100 followers, okay? So that being said, I want you guys to think about that. Like, who can you, it's actually in the marketing world, it's kind of funny. It's called becoming a parasite. It means you're leveraging off of somebody else's business to build your business, okay? And in all honesty, it's called a parasite, but not in a negative term, because there's a lot of people and a lot of, especially in the motivational industry, motivational speakers, stuff like that, that will leverage off of other people's audiences, because Tony Robbins is big enough to literally run ads directly to people who have likes and interests. Gary Vaynerchuk is big enough to run ads to people that like Gary Vaynerchuk, or have some sort of common interest. So That's a whole nother topic when you're going into Facebook and when you're doing things like that. But in the marketing realm, it's actually called being a parasite, okay? So I just want to break that down for you a little bit. That's a small, I just want to give you guys some valuable stuff. I want to give you some tools that you can work with. If you're a Dent Trainer member, be looking out Memorial Day weekend for the videos. I think I'm going to have them up Sunday evening. I'll let everybody know on my Dent Trainer Facebook page, but I just figured it'd be a great time to give all of our members a time to actually watch the whole video series. And I might even try to get it up a little bit earlier on Sunday, okay? So that's number one. The second thing I want you guys to think about here is funnels. And what I mean by funnels, a marketing funnel is a lot different than a website. A website's awesome to have. In fact, I'll just be honest with you guys. I get most of my business from my website, and that's mostly the retail business. But when you actually go to advertise somewhere like Facebook, sometimes I wouldn't even want to use my website because maybe it doesn't have the exact same message that I'm trying to bring in my ideal clients and customers. That's where a marketing funnel comes in. I use a company called ClickFunnels. And ClickFunnels is a great system that they actually try to portray it to be super, super easy. But, yeah, man, it took me forever to learn how to get in there and really dial in these fucking things, because it's not as easy. Russell Brunson, he's the king of, he's the owner of ClickFunnels, but he's the marketing king of making people feel like shit's super easy. And then when they get in there, he kind of like pats your ass through it, And he's a marketing genius, but he really oversells the simplicity of it, all the way to the point to where he actually had a Grant Cardone 10X audience where he sold like $4 million on stage in 45 minutes to Grant Cardone fans who are known to be non-tech savvy. These are like the car salesmen and the businessmen out there that are not tech savvy when it comes to building funnels. He actually sold $4 million on stage. It was like a record-breaking thing at the Grant Cardone 10X event a few years back. And that's when Grant Cardone filled up an entire stadium. I want to say it was like 8,000 people came to that event. And Russell Brunson was one of the speakers. And that's literally like selling ice to an Eskimo, is what he did at that event. So that being said, ClickFunnels is a great tool for that. It gets it kind of expensive. The more that you think, they got the first tier is like $97. The third tier is $297, I think. I know that I've got two accounts that are on third tier. So one of them's for the Dent Trainer and the other one's my personal account. But I want to try to explain what ClickFunnels, what a marketing funnel is. A marketing funnel is literally where you can do something like give a lead magnet. You can give something to where you try to collect their information. You can run something that makes it super easy for them to give you a phone call. You can also set it up to where when you get a lead and they put their email address or their name in there in exchange for something of value, that it goes on to the second page and it sets up a marketing sequence through email. Okay, so literally you can design and set up on the back end of ClickFunnels what emails people get. So what's the first one they get? The second one maybe an hour later, 2 days later. The third one, you could literally do a year's worth of emails. I actually thought about using that specifically for my newsletter. Their email designer is a little bit odd. I mean, you can do the same thing in MailChimp, so that's the reason why I go back and forth with it. But ClickFunnels is definitely much more interactive as a marketing funnel and building a website landing page where people can opt in. Now, we've took ClickFunnels before and completely built them out into full structure websites. It takes a little bit of code. You got to put in a header and a footer, which is super important for Google Analytics and stuff like that. But we've actually built them out as full-blown websites and got massive results in ranking. I mean, you wouldn't know the difference between a funnel and a website. Literally, but the funnel has back-end power to it. It has a email sequence provider. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of easy changes that you can do. You can continuously build out pages. You can install checkouts on certain pages. You can. They actually got a lot of pre-designed. In fact, I'm going to be doing a webinar here very soon about the 3 things that you must have on your website to make it successful. And I'm going to be doing a webinar, and that's going to be built out on a funnel. And the coolest thing is they literally got a webinar template that I can click button download, and then I can just get in there and change the colors out, change the images out, and just ultimately change it out. And the cool thing about the webinar feature, they actually have the follow-up emails already set. You just got to go in and change a few titles, things like that. But the emails, all the copyright and everything like that's already done, which is pretty much 80% of the battle. So, I mean, if you guys could imagine, and that's how, I don't know if you guys remember, the last time that we did a mega media event, I did something to where when you came into the media website and you left without purchasing, I was able to run ads directly to you. Basically saying, hey, I'm following you. I was like following people around. A lot of people bought tickets because of that. Because I literally followed them, tracked them down, and said, I know you guys didn't buy, but here I am, and listen to this message. And do you want to learn exactly what I'm doing to you right now? Do you want me to teach you? So they're getting ads on Facebook. They're seeing ads on any of Facebook's affiliates. Some websites display ads through Facebook. They were seeing ads everywhere, Instagram, everywhere, because they came into my funnel. So guys, check it out. I know a lot of you guys are Dent Trainer members. I don't even think there's many people in the industry that aren't Dent Trainer members now. But you guys go take a look at that over the weekend. And so my Instagram Secrets course is going to be dropping on Sunday night. And man, I just hope that helps a lot of you guys. I mean, literally, if you learn one thing from Instagram Secrets, you're going to pay for your Dent Trainer membership 100 times. If you implement it and you actually do it, that's the fucking key, all right? I can show you as much shit or tell you as much shit as possible, but if you don't put this to work, then it's not going to do anything for you, okay? So get off your fucking ass, put it to work, all right? I'm going to sign off here. Remember that shit. This podcast is iron sharpens iron, all right? So anyhow, guys, I appreciate you. Going to see you on the next one.